What's up, everybody? Dog 185. There's levels to this. Welcome to another episode. Oh, probably shouldn't do that. Welcome to another episode of the Gamer's Perspective podcast. I wanna tackle this small little subject based around gaming and the gaming enthusiasts like you and I that follow gaming content, that more than just game, we are also a little bit deeper entrenched. Now, like I always say, there's levels to this, and that's not a lie. Give me a second as I walk over into the room to grab my Red Bull. Like I say, there's levels to this. Some people are a little bit more entrenched than others when it comes to this gaming stuff. But what I've noticed this entire generation, and now that I'm mostly gaming on PC, I haven't given up gaming on my Xbox Series X. I tell you, from time to time, I still turn on my Xbox Series X, and I appreciate that ease of use even more. I love my PC to death. I love PC gaming to death. I do. But man, the consoles, especially what they're doing today with the technology and how close they are to PC, it's just phenomenal. What's up, Lion? Yeah, I see. I just yo, what's up, Kings? I just hopped on Twitch right now, so if I missed your comment earlier, I apologize. But this is what I want to talk to you guys about, man. You know, this entire generation, I could see both sides, whether you're PlayStation or whether you're Xbox, having some things that you could and you probably should complain about. The problem is that whenever somebody brings up something or critiques something, it always gets met with some weird criticism or some weird pushback from the same community that should be on your side. Doc, what do you mean? Well, let me tell you when I first experienced it, man. On the Xbox side, I remember all the backlash that I got when I complained about games running better on the PS5. Now, see, two things could be true. You can say that there's more games on the Xbox platform that run at higher frames than there are on the PS5 platform, such as like old games and stuff. But I remember where there was a point there where it seemed as if every single thing that came out on both consoles, the PS5 was just winning. And I remember I complained about that. And I complained about that because I thought I bought the more powerful hardware, but then I got attacked. Why do you care what the other side is? Whatever, blah, 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 blah. And there was a little bit of merit to that, right? Why did I care? Well, I cared because I made my purchase decision not based off of loyalty to a brand. I made my purchase decision based off a belief that I was buying the better hardware. See, that's the difference. If you have been an Xbox fan through and through when you purchase an Xbox, then you just like Xbox because Xbox is your brand of choice, and yeah, you shouldn't care what anything is running anywhere else. That makes sense. That makes 120% sense. But that wasn't me. That wasn't my situation. Then I was disappointed in the games not releasing at 60 frames, and then I got attacked for that as well, right? Can I complain? On the other side, on the PlayStation side, I saw a few PlayStation fans, not many, but a few, did actually complain about the lack of games, about the remakes and remasters again. And I remember they would also get attacked by their same brethren, talking about what is there to play on the other side, or you're probably still gonna buy it anyways, or you're probably gonna play it again anyways. Like, oh, it's a remake, not a remastered. And it was just, what's up, Harold? And it was just constant. No matter what you said, you got destroyed. Some people when the PlayStation Portal dropped, they said, "What is this, Sony? What are you doing? What are you making? Who is this for?" And they complained about it because they wanted. You gotta remember, the PlayStation fan base, whether they're happy with the PS Portal or with the PlayStation Portal or not, right now, they wanted an actual PSP. They wanted a PSP predecessor. Those that are actual fans of PlayStation and actual fans of the PlayStation Vita and the PlayStation Portal, they wanted a true PlayStation Portal. Yet when people complained about this PlayStation Portal, they got attacked. And it was funny because they were like, well, this is for a niche audience. This is not for everybody, so you shouldn't complain. Well, guess what? The PlayStation Portal is one of Sony's best-selling accessories. So I guess it wasn't that niche at all. So could you have imagined if Sony would have actually listened to those PlayStation gamers that actually wanted a dedicated hardware, not just a streaming device, how much better that probably would have been? But again, you can't complain. You're not allowed to complain. Now I'm over here on the on the PC side. And the complaining on this side is very, very different, guys. I gotta be honest with you. It's almost like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. On the PC side, if you complain about anything, it's because you are incompetent. Or at least that's exactly what the community will make you feel like. It'll make you feel like it's your fault why you're going through something. It's a different level. Because you see, on the console side, you will argue with somebody, or you will listen to somebody fight or arguing with something, and you can make sense of it. You can be like, nah, you're wrong, it's not me. For instance, the 60 frames per second thing, right? People kept saying, oh, we played on the 360 on the PS3 at 30 frames and nobody complained about anything. Well, you know, as a logical person, we're moved on to the next generation. It makes sense that you would want 60. Like that doesn't make sense that just because we were doing it last generation, we shouldn't want better this time. That doesn't make any sense. So you can argue that, you could feel good about arguing that, and even if someone wants to stay stuck in their ways, you're perfectly fine because you know that they don't make sense. You do. You make sense. On the PC side is completely different though, because when you're new to PC, if you complain about something, they'll just gaslight you and make you feel stupid about it. And then you got to sit there and wonder, is it really me or not? After you do some research and stuff like that, then you find out that it's not you. You find out that, you know what? I didn't make a mistake buying a Walmart PC. I didn't make a mistake buying a CyberPower PC. My PC has not turned off since that one incident. My PC is perfectly fine. Not even that, but better yet, I have had other people that have been honest and tell me their issues that they've had with their PC, regardless of how much money they spent into it or their graphics card. Modern Warfare 3 just dropped on Game Pass, and I want everybody to hear this, I purchased the game on Xbox when it first came out. I bought the game. Yes, I know, Doc buying games. Oh my god, Doc doesn't buy games. I bought the game on Xbox when it first came out, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all know I don't be buying games like that. I say that, but y'all know I do be buying games actually. But anyways, regardless, I bought the game on Xbox. I could be honest with you, I barely played it. The game drops on PC, on Game Pass. And I said, oh snap, now that I'm playing on PC, I don't have to rebuy the game? I don't have to rebuy the game. I could just play it because it's on Game Pass. Let's go. I went ahead, downloaded it on my PC, excited to play it. Let me tell you something. The amount of stutters and lags and all kinds of weird things that I was experiencing on my PC, Modern Warfare 3, had me scratching my head. Because if there's one thing I know, it's typically that these Call of Duty games are very well optimized for the most part, or at least I believe so. I looked at my PC hardware. I looked at there was no issue with my VRAM. There was nothing. There was no issue. So I'm trying to figure out why couldn't it run, and then it hit me. Let me go and complain about this and ask this question. And I got scared. I didn't ask a question. I said I'm not going to go through that ridicule again. I'm going to go ahead and keep this to myself, and I'll look it up myself. And when I looked it up, stuttering Modern Warfare 3, package lost Modern Warfare 3 on PC, I saw an abundance of people, that had the same issue. And I sat there looking through all those videos, thinking to myself, I have been blessed enough to be able to have a community of gamers that I know if I ask them a question, somebody will answer. But the amount of ridicule that I will get is going to be ridiculous, because some people, instead of helping, will be like, everyone's perfectly fine on my PC. Maybe you should have bought this, this, and that. Maybe you shouldn't, blah, 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 blah. Doc, you complain about Starfield at 60, but you play Starfield at 30. I know you enjoyed it. You shouldn't complain about it. Doc, don't blame Xbox or Microsoft for not utilizing the Xbox Series X to its full potential. That's the developer's fault. When can we complain as gamers? That same community that had me question whether or not I should even ask the question. The same community that got me to question whether or not I should ask a question would complain so loud to Sony that Sony reversed a decision that they had already made up in their mind. It is a very, very, very interesting situation that I find us gamers in. This is probably the one hobby where I feel like maybe we really don't know how much power we have. Maybe we really don't. I was on a podcast, shout out to Ray Ray, the Xbox Echo Chamber, where I was put on trial. Now you guys understand, I like entertainment. I enjoy this. This to me is fun. It's I like entertaining you. I like being entertained. I like the comments, everything, right? So this is fun. So they put me on a trial for speaking blasphemous about the Xbox. I thought it was fun times. I hopped on the podcast. And even though it was all, fun, jokes and games, you guys know how I am on podcasts. I get real animated. I try to bring energy, whether I'm the good guy or the bad guy, regardless. My goal, listen. If you don't know me, you don't know me. But my goal when I hop on a podcast is I want you to, number one, super chat, and number two, you will have those comments flowing. Whether you hate me or love me, I'm going to make you comment. You're not going to be able to sit down through a podcast that I'm on as a guest and not leave a comment, not put a comment, not be in a live chat. I want people to go back and see a podcast that I was on and be like, damn, I missed that podcast that Doc was on. Whether you think I'm an idiot or whether you think I'm a genius. And I hope that I bring more engagement to the podcast host who invited me into the podcast. Guys, there's levels to this, bro. There's levels to this. Anyways, I'm sitting there on this podcast and I was on trial for saying that Xbox doesn't care about gamers, about the console gamers. Now I have made up my mind about this for a while now. I have known this to be true for a long time. And obviously the statement is hyperbolic. I'm sure they do care about the console gamers, but they care the least about the console gamer, which has, I'll be honest with you, has kind of forced me to move over to PC. Now obviously it's a choice. Nobody really forces you, right? But now I'm over here dabbling in these realms, the PC realms. And there's a saying out there that says, says the grass is not greener on the other side. That's very true, man. For as great as PC gaming is, there is still something to be said for gaming on a console. Now, there is something weird about PC gaming once you get into it and you really get into it. Like, I've even told I've told my son this. If this PC from Walmart was to actually die on me, I promise you this, I will get another PC. Now, what I have not said or made up my mind about is whether or not I'm completely done with console. I still have both my PS5 and my Xbox Series X connected to the same TV where my PC is connected. They're both connected to the same TV. The question is, the next generation or the next hardware the Xbox drops, will I actually purchase that hardware? I don't know about purchasing the next PS5 or PS5 Pro. I don't see a need for a PS5 Pro. That would really be a waste of money because I don't use the PS5 at all right now as it is. But I guess the question is, will I get the next console? And as of right now, I'm still leaning towards yes because I still like console gaming as well. Even though PC, I can see even with all the gripes that I have with PC, is still better. Can I complain though? Can you as a console gamer complain? Can you as a consumer complain? Or is it your fault that you got tricked? 4K 60 on the box, is it your fault that you didn't fully understand what the up to 120 frames meant? Is it your fault when Phil Spencer said our Xbox games, exclusive games, are only going to be on platforms where Game Pass is available? And then he does something different. Is that your fault? Are you allowed to be upset about that? Now, there's no secret with me. You guys know I'm not I like exclusives type of guy. I would prefer if my Xbox played everything. To include PlayStation games, I would. I think it'd be nice if my Xbox Series X could have Spider-Man on it. Now I do have a machine that can have, the Halos and the Forzas, and the Starfields, and it can also have the God of Wars and the Ratchet and Clanks and the Horizons. So essentially, I got what I want, but it is still not a console. For as much as console like I'm trying to make this be, can I still complain? What if Xbox's next console is more PC-like and does actually run Windows, and by that extent, or can actually run Steam, and by that extent can also run PlayStation games? Is that going to be okay? Is that going to be allowed? Can we complain? Can we complain? I'll tell you what. The one thing that I do like about PC gaming for sure is that when you buy your hardware, there is a general consensus as to what that hardware can and cannot do, how it can and cannot run games. And if for whatever reason 90% of the games on your hardware run a specific way, and then you got 1 to 2 games that don't, there's an understood rule in the PC world where you blame the game and not your hardware. Where you just say that game is an unoptimized mess. I've been able to run everything at 1080p. I've been able to run everything at freaking at 1440p. If your graphics card is strong enough, I've been able to run everything at 4K above 60. But 1 or 2 games ain't running that way. You can go ahead and blame the game. Now, the same unwritten rule in PC is understood that you can't blame the game if you know that your hardware is not powerful enough to run certain games at certain settings. You are aware of what your machine can do, and that's where these consoles bother me the most, because I have seen, bro, I'm about to give PlayStation some props, okay? The fact that a game like Horizon Forbidden West can run at 60 frames on that console and it looked that good has no excuse as to why Gotham Knights can't run at 60 frames on the PS5. I don't care about untethered co-op. Who don't? No. It's impossible. The fact that the Xbox Series X can now run Starfield, y'all know how massive Starfield is, at 60 frames. It can run Starfield at 60 frames, meaning all those sandwiches that you wanted to save on different planets and everything like that, you could still do that. It didn't lose that feature. It didn't lose. Listen. This patch, that Starfield, it didn't lose that feature. The fact that you can still do that gives no excuse as to why that game, Gotham Knights, came out at 30 frames. No excuse. To an extent, how much can you complain? You guys tell me, how much can I complain? What I have learned so far, though, is this. Community-wise, I have been, I don't want to say knowledgeable enough, but I have been confident enough to stand behind my complaints when it comes to consoles. Regardless if someone has a difference in opinion, I can articulate as to why, nah, this shouldn't be this way, and the consoles have proven me right. You can say about what you want to say about PlayStation, but there's no reason for God of War Ragnarok to have a 120 hertz mode. It's not that type of game yet. Sony did it. That to me is a tough flex. Redfall should have a 120 mode. Even if it's a trash game, it should have it. Starfield not having 120, I get it. It's a really big game, right? But 60, yeah, okay, now we got something. Same way Zero Dawn has 60, right? This should have been from launch. No one can argue that with me. The fact that Game Pass console has more games, right? It's gonna have Game Pass console. Apparently, is gonna have more games than PC Game Pass, but it's missing one of the main features, which is day and date. It's not gonna have day and date. That to me is a problem, and it's gonna be more expensive. That to me is a problem. No one can argue that with me. You know, the fact that Xbox says no console required and their cloud service is not up to par. Now, I got a little confession to make. I have increased my internet speed so that I could try xCloud again in my home and truly see. I have increased my internet speed to a point where I feel like makes sense. So I was paying $35 a month for internet. I bumped it up to $80 a month for internet now. And we got the something crazy. It's like 500 megabytes upload and something dumb like 100. Download and like 100 upload. Something crazy, or 50 upload. Something ridiculous. I'm gonna be able to post videos crazy fast, right? Something crazy fast, right? Something that people were saying, well, you have like 20 things connected to that Wi-Fi. That's why. No more. This my internet provider tell me with this, I can have 20 things connected and I can live stream a game and still be perfectly fine. That's what they told me. Oh, here comes my cat crying. She's hungry. Oh, okay, we'll feed you right now, Luna. Hold on. Go run away again. She's been mad needy ever since she ran away. She feel like she's a street cat, like she could do what she want. No, she wasn't tough though. Yeah, you should have seen when I started calling out her name and she started crying under that Yukon Denali. She was literally crying. I was like, Luna, Luna, and she's like, meow, meow. You should have seen her. You should have seen her. You should have seen her. But anyways, look at Harold. Harold said Luna should be able to complain too. Oh, that's funny, Harold. What up, Les? I see you. Barbados, I see you. I see you guys in here. I see you guys in here. Appreciate you guys commenting and stopping by. But, can we complain? Am I allowed to complain? Are you allowed to complain? Somebody said complain with your wallet. Yes. Yes. But you see, here's the deal, right? My wallet by itself means nothing. As a community, we can move a lot. As a community, we can move a lot. The PC gamers showed us this. You can move a lot. Man, you can move a lot. Sure, I could go ahead and unsubscribe from Game Pass Ultimate and only subscribe to Game Pass PC. And sure, I'm not going to support Ultimate because I don't like cloud and because I don't like what they're doing with console. But where does that leave everybody else if it's just my $15? Bro, everybody banded together to downvote a game that they actually liked. That's what the PC community did. They all banded together to downvote a game that they actually like. People that actually hadn't played Helldivers just didn't like the fact that Sony was doing that. So even people that like that doesn't affect me, they still banded together and boom, downvoted. Wow. Wow. That's incredible. Could you imagine if everybody said, "Nah, we're not playing Starfield until you drop a 60 frames per second patch," because we know the Xbox Series X could do it. We know it can. You do realize that you have no idea how many frames Indiana Jones is going to drop at? Do we want to wager? Do we want to make a bet? Do you want to guess how many frames Perfect Dark is going to drop at? Now you can't say you for sure know it's going to be 60 because Xbox has dropped a first-person shooter at 30. All I know is I will have the option to play that game above 30. If I gotta run everything at low at 720p, I don't care. I will at least have the option. And if you're telling me that my Xbox Series X can't run these games at low setting 720p, I don't know. Man, come on, man. Come on. Come on. We shall see. Bless Red says my PC actually crashed yesterday booting up a game. Bless Red, don't you dare complain about that. People are gonna ask where you bought your PC from and all this other stuff. Bless Red said Indiana Jones runs on ID Tech. No chance in it's gonna run at 60. Oh, there's no chance in it. It will not run at 60, so it will. You're saying it will run at 60? Well, Bless Red, you and I, regardless, will have the option to run it at higher frames. Can we complain, guys? That's all I want to know. And if we complain, why are there people out there defending these companies? If I want my 60 frames because you put on the box that it was going to be 60 frames, why are you telling me, Doc, you played at 30 frames during the PS4 generation? Stop complaining. How does that make sense to you, man? I don't get it. Guess that's the question that I'll leave you guys with today. I don't want to drag it out too long. Doc Dog 1985. You already know there's levels to this. Welcome to another episode of the Gamer's Perspective podcast. We out. Peace. Alright guys, I'm going to end this stream real quick just so I can upload it easier, but then I'm going to start another stream right after that because I'm going to do a quick tutorial on Call of Duty package lost and stuttering. Hopefully it works. Alright, I'll be right back.